get my recording going. All right, it looks like we're recording. Let me share my screen. Right, I gotta open up system preferences. Hold on a sec. Oh shit. Hey, I gotta quit Discord real quick and reopen it. I'll be back in a second, guys. Discord. Okay. Can you guys hear me? All right, for sure. I'm gonna share my screen here. All right. Can you guys see this? You can see the first slide, known luxury goods and more. Okay, cool. Um, it seems like this might be everybody coming, so I'm just gonna get it rolling. To give you guys a little introduction, I'm gonna be talking about reselling luxury goods online. I've been selling for, I would say, pretty much 10 years now. I'm only 23. I started when I was 13. Um, I started more so with like Jordans and higher end shoes. And then as time went on, I really got into luxury goods, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Prada, all those good brands. So to start off here, I'm going to show you a little table of contents, what we're going to run through. This is probably going to be about a 20-30 minute presentation. A lot of the information is really simple, easy to understand. If you got any questions, let me know. If you got any questions after the fact, you can message me, whatever it may be. So we're going to start off with a little introduction. We're going to go to how I source products, how I authenticate products, cleaning and prepping products, how I take photos, listing the product, some success stories I've had, and a conclusion at it all. So to start off with a little introduction, I'm going to be sharing a little bit of knowledge on how I buy and resell high-end designer items. Like I said, brands like Louis Vuitton, Prada, Gucci, um, tons of designer brands, pretty much any designer brand out there. And our goal today is to kind of give you some insight on the process, provide some tips and tricks to help you get started if you're interested in starting and reselling luxury goods online. So this bag to the right here, this is a Louis Vuitton bag that I actually found at I think I found it at a swap meet. And if you don't know, this is a Takashi Murakami Louis Vuitton collaboration. Really coveted bag. I think I mean, the guy overcharged me a little bit for it. I think it was like for 300-400 bucks, something like that. And I managed to get, I think like 800-900 for it. So that was pretty good profit on it. Um, Next here, we're gonna go to how I source some products. the first step in buying and reselling designer items is obviously to source the products. I bet a lot of you guys are trying to figure out, how can I get some of these designer items um, for a price that isn't so quote unquote designer. A lot of these bags, for example, the bag to the left right here, is I would say this is probably about a $500-600 bag. Quality is really great on it. Um, in terms of how I personally source, I start off with thrift shops. I love going thrifting. Um, More particularly, there's high-end thrift shops. You can go to like a regular Goodwill, but at oftentimes they have quote unquote high-end Goodwills where they get all of the good products from the area, anything that's whether it be designer or products with tags, shirts, clothes, whatever it is. Um, Thankfully, I have a really great thrift shop at my house. I get really lucky with it. I actually found the bag that's on this screen, this blue Prada bag. It looked brand new, perfect condition, 100% authentic, great quality. I think they sold it to me for 60 bucks, and I ended up selling it for, I believe, 550 on eBay, which was just absolutely amazing. And you know, it can be hard to find products like this at thrift stores sometimes. But what I tell people is, if a product is meant to be yours, it's meant to be yours, and you're gonna find it. If it's not, it's not. I'll walk into the thrift store one week and not find anything, and then I'll walk into that thrift store next week and I'll find something every single day. So, it's kind of a hit or miss, but you just got to be consistent. Whenever I tell people, in terms of like going to thrift shops and stuff and like in-person stores to find some of these items, it's just about consistency. Show up, look, takes you 30 minutes, however long it takes, just take a quick peek and, see if you get lucky. Um, I also source from OfferUp and Craigslist. Other online marketplaces like, eBay and Poshmark might have items too, but I tend to get really lucky on OfferUp and Craigslist, especially because there are a lot of people on OfferUp and Craigslist that are just trying to get rid of stuff for quick cash. So what I do is, I'll look up Gucci or I'll look up Louis Vuitton. Maybe I might put the word vintage in there. And then I will filter out the settings from least to highest in terms of price. And then from there, I kind of scale through the products. I look at everything. Um, I look for people that are selling items for like just to get a quick buck, basically. Sometimes I lowball them. I'll be like, if somebody's got a couple, for example, I bought a couple purses off of this one lady. One was a Fendi purse, the other was I think a Gucci purse. She was asking like 250 for both, which was really not that bad, but I think I came back and I offered her like 150 bucks and she just took it because she was just trying to get some money, just trying to get rid of it. And a lot of times you can find people like this on OfferUp, Craigslist, and Facebook Marketplace. People that are just trying to get rid of items, throw them a cash offer, and a lot of times these people will accept. As for eBay and Poshmark, I don't get as lucky on eBay and Poshmark because a lot of times those are already resellers trying to resell the product on there. But you never know, just look at products, do the same kind of filter settings on eBay and Poshmark, and you never know what you can find. It's just about, being consistent when looking and sourcing for products. And again, when sourcing products, it's really important to consider the condition, authenticity, and the demand for the item. Typically, the condition's pretty easy to tell. You look at it, you feel it, you can really tell from there. Authenticity is a little bit more complicated, and we'll get into that in a sec. And as for the demand for the item, sometimes it's as simple as literally just Googling the bag online or on eBay, and seeing the prices of it. Typically, if it has a higher price, it's a little bit of a higher demand, lower price, a little bit of a lower demand. Next here, we're going to talk a little bit about authenticating products, which is in terms of selling designer goods, probably one of the most important steps. I use several methods in terms of authentication. I look for serial numbers, as you can see here to the right. This is an authentic Louis Vuitton wallet. The serial number's clean, RA1906. The leather's clean. The Louis Vuitton print is near perfect on the front of the wallet. Um, and then the Louis Vuitton Paris made in France below the button on the bottom is also really clean, no errors. And of course, one thing that I really go off on a lot is the material quality. I can tell probably about 95% of the time if it's authentic or not just by feeling it. And you can just kind of feel the quality of items when it comes to authentics and fakes. Don't get me wrong, there's some really good fakes out there. Like, I'm telling you, extremely, extremely good, like almost impossible to tell. But when it comes to authenticating, you got to make sure you're doing your research. I don't know how to authenticate every single designer item out there, but that's kind of why we have Google, you know. Um, like I said, I also do research on the latest releases and designs from every brand to ensure that any items I might be seeing are up to date and authentic. And yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to authenticity. It's simple, but it's complicated, and you just never know when you could be picking something up and it might be fake. The other day I walked into the thrift shop and I found this Louis Vuitton wallet, and I really, really thought it was real, but I had to sit there and kind of stare at it for a couple minutes, and it ended up being not authentic, just based off of just the button in the front of the wallet. Um, that's the only way I was able to tell. The material quality felt great, the lettering looked great, the it all looked pretty good until I saw that one error, which usually doesn't happen when buying authentics. You don't really see a lot of errors on items, um, because they do a pretty good job of quality checking items before they go out, even a lot of the older Louis Vuitton items. All right, so in terms of cleaning and preparing products, as you can see to the left here, I've gotten some pretty beat up Louis Vuitton wallets. Um, when it comes to wallets like this, sometimes I might take the time to clean them and, make them look a little bit better. As you can see, the one up on the top left here is really dirty. The leather's really worn. Um, and some people do care about that and some people don't. Some people really like these items that are, a little bit more worn and kind of have that vintage feel and look to them. And some people like brand new items. You just got to know the customer base you're going for. When it comes to wallets like this to the left, sometimes I take the time to clean them with like a leather cleaner and conditioner and try to get off any marks or repair the leather or whatever it may be. And sometimes I don't. I just don't take the time to do it and I sell the item as is. Um, but at oftentimes when you don't clean the wallet and you kind of leave it as is, you're probably not going to get as much as if you were to clean it and repair it. But of course, that takes more time and energy, and inevitably, time and energy is money. Um, and again, I take care to ensure that each item looks as close to new as possible. But again, a lot of times when buying like secondhand Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Prada, whatever it may be, um, it might be a little beat up and there's not much you could do about it. But sometimes it'll affect the value a little bit, sometimes it'll affect the value a lot. You just kind of do a little bit of research online and kind of evaluate from there and decide if you want to clean it up and repair it or just sell the item as is. Next here, we're going to talk about taking product photos. I take really high quality product photos that showcase the item in the best light. I typically use natural lighting. I don't use any other like lighting backgrounds or whatever it may be. I just go next to a window, put it on the floor, like with the two photos to the right here, and I just use the natural lighting. I use a fairly neutral background. You can see it's just a wood background. It's dark. It really helps, show off the lighter products, um, with the dark background. And high quality photos can really make a huge difference in attracting potential buyers and increasing the sale price. I personally take all my photos with an iPhone. I've taken all my photos with an iPhone all the time, literally since I started reselling. I've never used a professional quality camera, and I've found a lot of, great success. But, if you have a high quality camera and you want to take even higher quality photos, that's totally cool too. And one thing that I've also noticed too, and it was some advice that my mom actually gave me when I was first starting off and selling products online. She would always tell me, how would you want the product to look if you were going to buy it? And I always kept that really close to heart because, if I'm buying a product online, I want to see every angle of it. I want to see the inside, I want to see the outside, I want to see the box, I want to see it all. And I do the same thing for my customers. I send them pictures of everything if they want anything more. I typically take pictures of literally every part of the item that I'm selling to ensure that the customer, knows what they're getting, and there's no hiccups after the fact. Next here, we're going to talk about listing a product for sale. Obviously, you got to choose the platform you're going to sell on. If you have a Shopify store, that's cool. eBay. I personally have been doing eBay, like I said, for 10 years. I love eBay. Yeah, they do take a fee, but they have a really vast customer base, especially when it comes to selling designer items. There's a lot of people that go on there just to buy like Louis Vuitton and Prada, Fendi, all these brands. Um, so what I'll typically do is, I'll choose a platform. I also do sell on OfferUp as well, but most of the time eBay. So I'll post the item on eBay and or OfferUp. I provide a really detailed description of the item, including its condition, authenticity. I say all of my items are 100% authentic, which they all are. I don't sell any replicas or whatever it may be. And then I give them any other relevant information. Like if the wallet is a little bit more beat up than usual, I'll let the buyer know in the description and say, hey, like this item has a little bit of wear and tear. Um, and then I set a fair price based on the item's condition, demand, and current market value. Condition can be kind of evaluated on your own. Demand and current market value can be evaluated when, doing research on that product on eBay. I typically do a lot of research by literally just looking up, like, let's say this wallet to the left here, the shiny one with the patent leather. I'll look up like Louis Vuitton. That's not an Epi wallet. I forgot the name of it, but um, this is a specific type of wallet. I'll look that up on eBay, see where the prices are at, see what the conditions are at compared with the prices, and then kind of go from there in terms of uh, listing it at a fair market price. And here's some little success stories that I've had. So these are a lot of the, really nicer items that I've found for like the low, low, low. Um, to the left here is oh shit. To the left here is a Supreme 1997 Burberry box logo, and I managed to get this item. I think I got it for like I had traded somebody a pair of shoes that really wasn't that expensive. I think it was like a couple $100 um, for the shirt, and I think this shirt's valued at like $900 right now. It's a little bit hard to get rid of considering the higher price tag, and you might notice that sometimes too in terms of some of these designer items, depending on the price, if it's a little higher, it might be a little harder to get rid of. But that all depends on the demand for the item. Um, so I think I got that shirt for like $200. It's worth like 8 to 900, so $600, $700 once it's sold. It's gonna be great profit. Um, Top right here is a little Gucci watch that I had actually found on OfferUp, and I offered this lady, I think she was asking like 150 for it, and I offered her like $75 for this really great condition Gucci watch. And she took it. She didn't hesitate. She was like, "Yeah, just come pick it up," and I had no problem picking it up. So I bought it, cleaned it up a little bit, made the metal a little bit shinier, and I think it's probably about a 350 $400 watch that I got for 75. This blue Prada purse, like I talked about a little bit earlier, I found this one at the thrift shop for $60 and sold it for 550. The middle Celine bag right here, I recently found this one at the thrift shop. If you're keeping up with some of the Cosmic staff announcements or whatever it may be, I posted this I think a couple weeks ago saying that I had found it at a thrift shop for a little bit more expensive. This one was 150 at the thrift shop, but I'm looking to get around 400 or 500 bucks for it. And the last item here is this kind of weaved summer Prada bag. Again, found it at the thrift shop for $60 and ended up selling it for $400 or 500. So this really, really great profit. I find a lot of items at the thrift shop. I buy a lot of items from OfferUp. Um, you just have to find where you can source products the best. I source them the best at thrift shops, OfferUp, and Craigslist. you might source them better from, eBay and Poshmark or, whoever it may be or wherever it may be. But I think that's probably the hardest part is trying to find like a really good source, good consistent source. But it just takes time and effort and, honestly, just looking around and being consistent. I would say consistency is definitely the top priority. And last year, to kind of conclude everything, I'm gonna summarize the buying and reselling of high-end designer items. It can be really lucrative and rewarding if done right, but it requires careful sourcing, authentication, cleaning, and preparation. But with a little bit of patience and research, you can make a really great return on an investment. I hope this presentation has been helpful to everybody that's here with me. I appreciate you guys coming and listening to my short, brief presentation on how I buy and resell luxury goods. Um, and that's it. If you guys want to give my luxury brands Instagram a follow, I have all my items posted on there. I post reels, I post pictures, updates, got tons of items. So if you guys have any questions, message me on there, message me on Discord, whatever it may be, and I'm here to help, man. So if anybody has any questions, let me know right now or later. I think that's pretty much it, huh? Not a lot of people showed up for it, but whatever. All right, I'm gonna stop the recording here. That was a short presentation, was it?